Welcome back, everybody. My name is Gregtech, and this is Gregtech New Horizons. So, with the end of the last video, with me dying up in the nether after getting my my diamond dolly along with a vanilla skeleton spawner and then putting it up in the roof, I went through all the effort of getting all the nether stars that I need for the next process. And that process is the creation of the Avarita crafting table. So what I need is 144 diamond plates, 36 stainless steel in order to make the diamond lattices and the nether star, and then taking that and making it into the crystal matrix ingots. So I have all 36 stainless steel, and there is my 144 diamond plates. There we go. And in order to make the diamond lattices, I'm using this recipe because I didn't realize there was this recipe with an MV forming press until after I had already made all of the screws. So yeah, I get to have fun with that. Actually, do that, do those, do that, do those, and then we'll just loop this around, loop that around, and then slap that there. So there we are. 36 diamond lattices, all done. Now, along with the 18 nether stars, that'll complete that next section of the quest. And then comes the long part. So this is going to take, I think it's 90 minutes in order to do this. So I'm going to pause the video and let this do its thing here in the HV assembler, and I'll bring you guys back in. Maybe it's only 9 minutes. That's got to be only 9 minutes. That's looking like about a minute long each. So I'll be back in just a few. Alright, the allotted time is just about up for making the last crystal matrix ingot. And there we go, all 9 of those done. Excellent, quest is updated, so now we'll slap those into a compressor. That should allow us to get the crystal matrix itself instead of just the crystal matrix ingot. And yeah, you can hear occasionally creepers sounds behind me. I did do some magic research and raised it up to where it gives the annoying noises every once in a while. There is our crystal matrix, which leaves this last bit here. So I have 8 electric motors. Turn 4 of those into pistons and take 4 of the motors and 2 of the pistons and make robot arms. And then I believe it's in this one. Yep, there we are. 2 advanced wafers. Oh, and the last thing I need is that mainframe. So there we go. All of that complete, and now it's time to make the dire crafting table. 2 of those, the double compressed crafting table, crystal matrix, the 2 pistons, the 2 robot arms, and the mainframe. Not like that, apparently. Robot arms on top, pistons on bottom. So robot arms up top, pistons on bottom. There we are. And there is our dire crafting table complete. All of that work just to make this one item so that we can slap it down and cause ourselves all kinds of grief. We'll put it there for now for lack of a better place to put it. But there it is. Now if we open this thing up, we get to start taking a look at making these compressed plates. 148 stainless steel bolts, which will combine into 37 of those ingots, and then again into the implosion compressor to make 37 heavy-duty plates. In addition to that, it's also going to make us make the buggy seats, so 10 more compressed steel, 6 of these rubber sheets, which are 6 rubber each, so I'm going to get some rubber going here shortly. and then the oxygen tank, which wants 16 of these reinforced glass plates, and a scuba helmet. A scuba helmet being what? 2 reinforced lenses and 5 rubber, along with an ingot of glue in an MV assembler. That's not too bad. I've got a ton of refined glue right there that I can make go into that, and then we can get that knocked out. So I am going to begin prepping the materials, the longest of them probably being these things here. Each of these guys is in this case, it's a triple aluminum plate, and I usually use the Industrial TNT since it only needs 1. So that's going to be 3 aluminum each for those. The compressed steel, also a triple plate, and then the compressed bronze, which is probably the worst of them just because it's going to take a lot of copper. Other things are a little bit easier to come by for me right now. The copper, not so much. There again, you can hear explosions in the background, and that is because I went in. I was a little bit smarter about this playthrough than the last playthrough. In the Thaumonomicon, I used some of my warp in order to get, let's see here, I went for the advanced node stabilizer in order to be able to get nodes back to the base soon. Let's see here, did I do anything on this tab? I don't think I did anything on this tab. On the Artifice tab, I did the magic mirror so that I could get to the Essentia mirror. That's where a lot of my warp came from, was just those 2 guys right there. But I also did the Infernal Furnace in order to get to the Arcane Bellows. The Arcane Bellows being something I wanted for my setup over in the Thaumcraft area. I also did... Let's see here. The Arcane Bellows unlocked the Advanced Alchemical Furnace. Not sure if I'll make that yet or not, but it did unlock that. And then over in the Electromagic? No, it's not Electromagic. It is over in the Witching Gadgets. I went ahead and I did the Arcane Abacus. I think that's the only one I did from here. The Arcane Abacus, of course, being there so that I can check my instability. I haven't made one yet, but it only takes a couple of HV components and then some, what is it? I can't remember the metal from Thaumcraft. Thaumium, there we go. That's the one. In any case, I'm going to run away, get some things prepped, and I'll see you guys back here after a while. It's been another couple hours of progress being made. I decided to go ahead and start working on the pieces I need for the space race. To that end, I was there working on the reinforced glass to reinforced glass plates for that oxygen mask. Also, I took the time and I've been running this thing off and on. I'm up to 82 buckets of toluene. And then because I noticed how much toluene I'm going to need, I went ahead and I was up in my, I just forgot, I remembered I have stuff up in there. I might have a thing of weeds. Oh, I got lucky. Oh, I got double lucky. Look at that. I expected one of these 2 to be weeds. I am doing some breeding. Right here is the netherwort. Don't really need a lot of netherwort. I'm breeding it mainly so that if I need to make potions and things, I can. That's my biggest deal right now. The other thing that I did over here on this side was I bred up some sugar beets, and I went and planted them up in there. The whole reason for doing the sugar beets is so that I can make the toluene for 133 milliliters for 2 instead of 100 milliliters for 1. Not only that, I also have to do it in an advanced reactor. So I'm going to have to work towards that as well. But that much is fine. The other thing that I went and did was I dinked around with a bit more magic, and I ended up crafting the iron-capped Greatwood Scepter and the node stabilizer. The iron-capped Greatwood Scepter is the first wand that I'm able to start getting some, what are they? I'm able to start, bringing nodes back to the base. The nodes take 70 to jar, so having one with 75 means that's finally within reach. So I will be doing some of that stuff a bit later, but at least for right now, I am working towards the space race stuff. You saw the ding there for the oxygen mask, and that is because I can now take and put the scuba helmet and 16 of those guys into here. Nope, I guess not. Let's check. It wants it in the MV. Okay, that's fine. I can do... Where is it? Not there. This one. I can pull it out once I find it. Where the heck is my pump? Build a bag? No. What on earth did I do with my fluid pump? I guess that'll be the next thing, is me figuring out where I put my fluid pump, unless I'm just blind. Yes, I am just blind. It is right there. And then I can take and remove the bit that's in there, and my MV assembler is here. So let's do a little bit of rearranging. Get out the wrench, get out the Build-A-Bag, and I guess I don't have... Oh, you know what? I did move that guy. I used one of those guys over there in, not the EBF, but over in, yeah, sorry, at the back of that distillery tower. I used the HV fluid tank I had. So I guess I will need to make myself another, we can make a cheap one here. Let's see here. I've got one more large clay fluid pipe. Let's grab 4 steel, 2 iron, and 1 tin, I believe it is. I think that's the way to make it. Let's see. Oh, 1 steel, 2 tin, and 4 iron. Other way around. So I need 2 more iron, and I can put 3 of that steel back. For iron. Oh, I'll need a second tin, right. There's my second tin. And then I'll need a bucket for some water. Bucket. 2 tin. And then the 1 steel. And that is my last piece of large clay fluid pipe. So I guess if I want to make any more of the low voltage fluid tanks, I'm going to have to make some more. But it is nice because it only takes a bucket of water instead of a pump of any kind. There we go. Drop this guy right down here. Oh, and I don't have those, so I'm going to need to go get the, what do you call them? These guys. Fluid translocators. There we go. So much easier doing that when I'm bouncing back and forth. I know some people say it's not as convenient. I find it far more convenient. Wrench that, slap him on there. There we go. And then grab those guys out. 1 and all but 1. There we go. And that guy will craft up, and that will be our oxygen mask. Let's see here. In addition to the oxygen mask, I also need... How many did it say I needed on this guy? I need 6 rubber sheets, which are 6 rubber each, so that is a whopping 36 rubber. Let that come in. Knock those out, and it'll take me a little while before I get to that 10 steel. But I am making slow but sure progress towards our space race. So I am going to keep on going. Yeah, you'll see there HV pumps, HV motor, oxygen condenser. These guys are annoying because they need more compressed steel. Tin canisters, also compressed tin plates. Those are... oh, that's nice. That's very nice. I like that. That's nice and easy. Alright, so I'm going to be gathering up more stuff as I go about making all the various components that we need for the oxygen gear, as well as soon making the toluene so I can make these compressed parts. So I'll leave you guys here and get some more stuff set up and ready to go. Alright, while I am waiting for some aluminum to craft up inside the EBF, I decided to go ahead and work on this. I have another runic matrix, even though I have the one that I have over in my infusion altar area, and I need that along with a sensor and an HV circuit and 6 thaumium rods. And right there I have all the makings necessary for the arcane abacus. The arcane abacus, what I can do with that is, let me pull all those, put all those on, there we go. If I hop down here, what I can do is I can take this thing and I can right click on this guy, and there you can see total stability booster 0. Now it doesn't have any instability and it doesn't have any stability because I don't have anything set up on here. So really the only reason I have this now is so that when I go to make infusions in the future, I can start throwing these skulls that I've collected underneath and use them in order to stabilize this thing. I really don't like the skulls being up here and visible, but yeah, slapping them down underneath, I forget how many total I can have, but with a wither skeleton farm up in the roof of the nether, it's not hard to just go up there and snag more wither skeleton skulls anytime I need them. So I may put the creeper heads away or something along those lines, but the skeleton, wither skeleton, I can get easily enough. Zombies aren't too bad. Zombies drop them when I snipe them with my crossbow. Even though all I have is luck, the heads apparently pop pretty easily for things with luck on it, so that's pretty good. I do still have my beheading cleaver here, and since I moved those, since I moved that one wither skeleton, or well, the skeleton spawner into the nether, that means I now have my powered spawner that I can actually take, and I can probably actually set it up. I may move my smeltery over here somewhere, and then take and stick the skeleton, or the wither, sorry, the powered spawner, after I capture an enderman, and put it over here so that I can spawn endermen and either kill them, capture them, or let them melt and turn into ender pearls. Although realistically I do not need ender pearls. I have a ton of them. The only things I really want the endermen for are getting these enderman heads for Ender IO, since it is not or dictionaried with the enderman head from HEE. So in any case, that is all I'm working on. I've got this right here. I did end up making 4 stacks of copper and 4 stacks of tin. And then I have a bunch of steel, but I will probably end up making another 4 stacks of steel that I can then pull off and count out groups of 37, at least for the start, in order to get this first tier 1 rocket done. That's why I'm doing the aluminum right now, is because I am almost completely out of aluminum. But the rest of these things I'll just need to stick inside my alloy furnace, get them melted together, make a whole bunch of bronze, and then start throwing them into this guy. I have, where is it? Right here, I've got a configuration 3 chip in order to start making the triple plates, and then I can take them over to the implosion compressor and start working with them. So that is the plan. I am also still working on nether wart up here. Nether wart grows kind of slow, and I keep getting these things to spawn instead of getting the good stuff. So got to knock it away every once in a while, but I check on it, make sure it's up and working. There's another one, 11-13-4. Yeah, that's what I really have to watch out for. These guys spawning when my back is turned. Quite literally. So in any case, like I say, while I am heating up ingots and stuff, I've been focusing a little bit on the magic just to try and get that stuff done. I don't know where that quest came from for the abacus. I'm not seeing it anywhere around here. So in any case, I have things going on. I do need to kill some more ghasts, kill some more endermen, kill some witches being the worst. I do want to make some potions together and start digging around in the swamp in order to find myself the labyrinth and get down to the minnow shroom and knock him out. And then in addition to that, I also want to start, get through him, make it all the way up to the Urghast. I will try and record those things once I've got some potions ready, just so that y'all can watch me have fun dying in the Twilight Forest. Apparently that's the recent thing I do when I'm recording my videos, is just die lots of times. So we'll see what happens. In any case, I am going to step away again while I work on getting this nether wart bread up, and then working on setting up skulls under the infusion altar, because the first thing that I want to do with the infusion altar is to actually get this guy, the advanced node stabilizer, together so that I can start draining nodes. In my node list, I have one really good one right here. It's 11, 24, 16, 22, 23. Fairly good all-arounder, and I'd like to start letting him bully other nodes, since he does have a variety of essence. I'm going to have to add these up and see if like maybe this guy right here, I believe he's smaller, so I can bring him up next to it and start having him absorb those different aspects, and get a decent-sized node that I can use for powering stuff like the Everburn urn. In order to centrifuge to get that tungstate, and then likewise setting up an infernal furnace in order to start breaking down, well, maybe not an infernal furnace, but definitely working to start breaking down more materials and work on that portion of stuff. So again, out of here, I'll see you guys back in a while. A bit of time has passed, not too long. I decided to go ahead and get all of my plate prepped and ready. But one of the things, I don't know if you guys recall, but I had said I had inadvertently created 2 chemical reactors and that I still had one down in here. Well, that happens to be a happy little accident. The reason for that is because when I go to take a look at making these plates, and I've talked about me using the Industrial TNT to make them because it's cheaper on resources. The gelled toluene, so I had already had a plan for one of these guys to be nitration mixture and to pass in gelled toluene and just get out the Industrial TNT. Originally, I was thinking I would use the fluid solidifier version of getting gelled toluene, until I realized just how much toluene I need in order to get through this phase and how much wood tar my current setup produces and everything. And so I decided, let's go with this one. Well, if you notice, this is an HV process. So I was sitting there thinking, oh, well, I can just make an HV chemical reactor, forgetting that I had already made a spare HV chemical reactor. So what I went ahead and did was I set it up over here, and I knocked a couple of holes in the floor. And so there's the one with the nitration mixture. There's the other one that I inadvertently created and kind of forgot about until I went to go do this stuff. So I've gone and I've made a couple of silver cables, and I am going to need my wire cutters. Knock those out, knock that out, and oops, not that way. Good thing it wasn't connected to anything, huh? All right, there is my high voltage transformer that I just created, and I have some aluminum cables here that I can really quickly just use to tie into this system. I made extra in case I needed it. I forgot how far this guy was from this setup, but now I have these two guys powered. So now I can head upstairs and I can make myself some gelled toluene. What I have to do though, because I don't have a spare, either a fluid canner or a spare pump and a what do you want to call it? Like a fluid tank, like this guy right here. I'm just going to hand pipe it in using liquid transformers and do things that way. So I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to wrench his output that direction so that he will output directly into there. I can stick cans of toluene up in there, and then it'll pour down in, and then I just need to pass in some sugar and some tiny piles of polyethylene pulp. Say that 5 times fast. And we will have a decent working setup for getting my gelled toluene into Industrial TNT. I just need to figure out how I'm going to pump out that diluted sulfuric acid. And this guy still will not, for whatever reason, keeps on giving me junk I don't need, instead of giving me a better, stronger nether wort for that additional setup. So in any case, I'm going to keep going with that stuff, and going to get a bunch of gelled toluene together, and so the next time you guys see me, I should have all of this stuff knocked down into the compressed plates, and we'll be ready to start putting together a few more items for our Galactic Craft setup. See you in a bit. Well, I decided to come back before I went ahead and made those compressed plates. Here's my setup with my toluene going in, making the gelled toluene with sugar and tiny piles of polyethylene pulp. The biggest thing being here that I wanted to collect the 256 that on the multi-block goals, the TNT asks you to collect 256. I've already had sulfuric acid in my inventory before, and that will do the TNT. Now I can begin to take that, and I can just toss it in here, and it will start making the actual TNT. Now, one of the things I did was I have the diluted sulfuric acid coming out from here. I don't have it going anywhere yet, but the idea is that if I start collecting cans of that, I took the one ultra low voltage fluid tank I made, stuck it on the back of here with a pump, pumping it in, because essentially my, what is it? It's not the sulfuric acid, it's the hydrogen sulfide cell. Pops in here, I mix it with the water, which makes the diluted version, and then the distillery makes the regular version, and I need a way for cans of the diluted sulfuric acid to be brought in and just converted straight to regular sulfuric acid. So I've got that miner set up there. I probably could go ahead and make one more. I'm going to have to make some actual clay pipes at this point, but make one more, put it on the back here, and have it output the liquid back into here, and then that way I can make cans of it and send it on back around. I also grabbed out enough nitration mixture from this guy to complete the TNT quest right back here, which wanted 32 cans of it. And when I did, the mixer started pouring more into this thing, so only so many cans went in. So I turned off the fluid output for now and just allowing this to use up what it needs and move the nitration mixture cells back into there as it's crafting all of this industrial TNT. You can see I've got quite a bit of it lined up here. The reason for that is because I need quite a bit of it in order to get through all of the compressed to make that first rocket. Right now I was looking at 412 412 runs of this to get the gelled toluene, which means that that's actually about 206 TNT that I'm currently looking at making to get through these couple of quests that I have visible right now, which are the heavy-duty plate, the buggy seat, and all the stuff for the oxygen gear. I have all that stuff sitting over in my crafting tables over there, and I'm just over here pumping away with the polyethylene pulp and sugar, trying to mix up all of this stuff. But now that I have this whole thing set up, I can actually go ahead and well, since I got all the gelled toluene, I can now just turn that on and have it auto export into here and get this thing automatically dealing with this stuff. So I can just put in, this one takes quite a bit longer than this one does, so I can just come in every so often and drop in a chunk of the gelled toluene and wait for the TNT. So I'm going to step away again, let this stuff complete, and I'm going to go use the implosion compressor and completely destroy the environment over there while I get the parts necessary for the oxygen gear. Look at that, destroy the environment only to make oxygen gear that you're going to wear. Terrible. Anyway, I'm going to step away and do that. I'll see you back in a bit. Here we are for the final segment of this video. I went ahead and prepped a few different things. Over here I have the pair of buggy seats after getting all of the parts I needed for the two buggy seats. Here I have one oxygen vent that I needed in order to turn that into the oxygen concentrator. Both of those parts being necessary for this next part of the quest, which is the oxygen gear, and then taking the oxygen gear along with the two pumps and the motor and 5 of those things to make the oxygen gear itself, which should complete that quest as well. With oxygen gear and the buggy seats done, I now have access to the parachute and the oxygen tanks. But here I have the pieces and parts necessary to make all of the tier 1 heavy plate that is necessary for that first rocket. And then from there, I need to make these heavy duty alloys. So a hammer, the 4 bolts, and bronze, aluminum, steel. So bronze, aluminum, steel. Half of those there, half of those there. I'm going to destroy this hammer. I don't know how long it'll take. There it goes. And then we'll divide those up amongst those and use this guy and knock out the last of those plates. That should take care of that part of the quest. Having 37 of those heavy-duty plates right there. And now I need to compress them in the implosion compressor. And I have all 37 plus enough of the Industrial TNT. It takes 2 each and pollutes like, oh, I don't know what. A diesel rolling coal, maybe? In any case, it will go and gives you a tiny pile of stainless steel dust. You get 1/4 of the stainless you used making it with the bolts back as it compresses these heavy-duty plates. And just wait for the 37 to complete. There we are. And now with all 37 of those, get out of the blast zone of all that dangerous pollution I just created. And we should see that part of the quest complete. There we go. Heavy duty plates are done. Yes, that does unlock a whole bunch of different stuff. The tier 1 schematic, fuel canister, rocket fins, rocket nose, and rocket engine. So all of those parts necessary to be able to make the rocket itself. I will do that in between this video and the next video. Again, it's just more make a few different items that we need, or in this case, a lot of different items that we need. These things are going to be a little bit of a pain. The raw SDHC120, because it takes the dual bronze and dual aluminum compressed plates, which are, of course, 2 compressed plates and the TNT again in the implosion compressor, so it's using even more TNT. For this, I could probably move along to using maybe just some regular TNT or maybe some dynamite or something rather than using iTNT. I'll have to look at the resource cost of those things. Probably not the dynamite, since that, I believe, wants the glycerol trinitrate. But at least the regular TNT, no, it's still forged toluene, and I don't need to mess with sulfuric acid versus trying to make the toluene. No, definitely not. I have more than enough of the nitric mixture, the nitration mixture. I don't need to muck with this. It's really the toluene that I am struggling to keep in stock because of my wood farm. So, in any case, I am going to leave this video here. We do have quite a bit of progress left to go on this first rocket, but at least we have the big portions done, and I can focus on each of these individual quests and get them up and running. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Till then.